Number one, FYI, we're changing the date to the December 29th committee meeting to Thursday, December 22nd at 1 p.m. due to the Christmas holiday. Next is the sheriff.
I got a motion. I mentioned it.
I'm gonna make a letter. Ready, we'll start with number one, operational updates.
Nothing real exciting from the sheriff, no complaints on Halloween night, it's very quiet. Deputy Atwood is still on 207C. I don't think there's any chance of coming back for January. Very much it for operations. Two cars are involved in the process of getting them off it.
Okay, number two, request permission to increase the credit line on Colin Reagan's procuring cards, $4,500.
And that's for, because it'd be under sheriff as of January 1st.
You know, motion for that. A Supervisor Granger makes the motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Number three, professional service contract with Pinewood Consulting. That's for
That's for some, yeah.
Okay, motion for that one. Louis. Okay, Supervisor Robbins makes the motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed. Who did number two? Okay. Okay, number four, overnight travel authorization. Colin Reagan was done to attend the New York State Sheriff's Association school.
Same thing, I go become another sheriff or we'll get up to speed.
Okay. Supervisor Roberts makes the motion, all in favor? Aye. Let's see. Number five, professional service contract, and this is for Options International.
Yeah, that's to plow surplus equipment, whether it's radio equipment, I don't know if he still sells cars, I don't sell around, or whatever, just to have a contract in place, so when we sell our surplus stuff, we can do it. Fishing.
Any questions on that one? Okay, Supervisor Better makes the motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Number six, position fill, this is for deputy sheriff.
It's for,
Austin.
Austin.
Promoter. Full-time. Supervisor Hill makes the motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Okay. Anything else for the sheriff? Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. Awesome. Good job. Bottom right. Four. When we're ready, number seven, operational updates.
You can see what they are, I can give you what today's numbers are if you'd like.
Does anybody want today's numbers? No. Number 8, professional service contract for Black Creek and Separated System.
That's a security equipment we use, in the facility, that is what, have to pay for, December, January through December 23. I will tell you that we are going to have quite an increase for 2024. I'm going to let Dave talk about that when he comes back, but it's going to be very significant.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's
Number 8, I need a motion.
how old is this system?
This system,
We put that in 2017. So it's like every 5 years we will, that's why it's going to be significant in 2024. Every 5 years they give us an increase. They have to do, they have to redo our BOSH system, which is our ability to record a recording system. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be large. So.
So like, what do you mean?
100,000 plus. Actually, it's gonna be 102,000 change for 2024. That's just for the box system. That's not our annual update for this, the 22,000. I don't know what that's gonna be. I'm trying to get them to sharpen the pencil, but that's what it's gonna be increased on one part of it. So we may be looking at $130,000. Okay.
What's the cost of the new system company?
Oh, well, you should ask that because I get them to give the cost. The cost to renovate our system is about $3,000 shy of $700,000. That's all brand new cameras. That's all brand new everything. So.
You said about every 5 years you upgrade.
Yeah, you don't want to buy it.
You said sure then.
Yeah, so I did ask for that. They gave me 3 different structures, the cheapest one being 102,000 for just a Bosch recording system. Not the annual cost of the 22,000, which I think is going to go upwards of around 24 to 25.
In 2024.
Yes. So we got a year to, I've been hammering on them to try to sharpen it. Okay.
That's the principle we should get out of jail with us. No, the principle that maybe we should get out of jail with us. I mean, between the upgrade that we had this morning,
Everything, yeah,
and the state's just gonna keep changing the goalposts, so.
everything's looking, government's looking really good. But, and that's, other than the jail kitchen, that's all.
That's all you have. I need a. Supervisor Kell makes the motion. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Mike.
You're nice.
Well, we have a jail kitchen. I know that.
No.
Oh, that's good. Number 9.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what Buzz is looking to replace, other than a coffee maker and probably some upgrades to the convection ovens.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it says providing repair services.
Yeah.
It wants.
Okay.
Number 10 goes with that.
So
Number 10 goes with that. Number 10 goes along with that because they need a motion for 9.
Having 2 Stevens.
Supervisor Britt?
Yes.
Making the motion. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All scared. Okay. 911, County, navigator. Number 11, National Service Company. Wyoming County Transit Service.
They rent space on our Weathersfield Tower, and that's just a yearly, we extended them 1 year, because they might be doing something different on the radios, but it's just an annual fee of $40.
Any questions on that one? Someone like to make the motion for this one? Supervisor Granger makes the motion. All in favor? Aye. All carried. Number 12, professional service contract with Stay On Communications.
That's for our monitoring system for our tower sites. We monitor, we monitor our microwaves, our radios. We will be installing cameras, we monitor heat, fire, water, all that kind of stuff each site. And this upgrade is for the 2 sites, new site in Cast Isle, and a new site up in Weathersfield. Just to add them, and that's paid for out of the SIG grant.
And question on this one? Someone like to make a motion? Supervisor Roberts makes the motion. All in favor? All carried. And number 13 is amend a resolution for Wilmot business equipment.
If we install, replace our recording equipment with 911 system to include the geo emergency system. That now records the Maxim site as well. Because of COVID and other equipment and stuff. It's about finished, but we just need to extend the contract and everything so we can finish it out.
Oscar, this one. Would like to make a motion. Supervisor Brick makes a motion. All in favor? Opposed? Here. Thank you. Thank you, John. Welcome, Ryan. Number one, on trail authorization. For. The striker.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what she said,
Any questions on this? Someone like to make a motion? Supervisor Britt makes a motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number two, professional service contract with Emergency Services Marketing Corporation.
This is our IM responding program for the EMS agencies that's funded by our SHSP grant.
Any questions on this one?
Is this being used by every department now?
Every department has access to it. The usage is great in some and wish it was a lot better in others. They all have access to it.
Would you like to make a motion for this one? No. Whether.
I don't use it, and I don't use it personally, I do come in, Brian, or anything, you know,
They do some minor software updates, things like that. There's some different features in there. One of the last features is probably about a year and a half ago. There's a handful of departments that are using it. But overall, the system kind of stays pretty static.
Livingston County uses something different,
Yeah, there's other ones, Code Red and
Yeah.
different wording.
but there's, we over there stood by for a number of hours there one night, the guy showing it, and it showed at what time everybody was banged out and the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a few things we're trying to do, but there's issue with the CAD and non-responding interface that it just doesn't make that possible. It would be nice to get a little bit more information in there, but just with that interface, can't make it work. It's neither party's side, it's just they don't come out the right way to do that.
is there one that, another Code Red or something that would do that for you?
We can look into it and see, there's a lot of them out there, there's a lot of systems out there, it depends. Different counties are using different ones. We also utilize it for a lot of our internal office record stuff, so anything really with an expiration date, whether that's not only calibrated, things like that, there's future in there. Generate that, so it's set up Excel spreadsheets, things like that. It sends us notices, what expires in 30 to 60 days, up to 60 to 90 days, 100, things like that. So that feature is really nice as well.
What's nice about it, you know, if you want to have a meeting, you know, and you want to have a certain committee, you can send it out, you can pick who you send the message to. I can send it from my phone to you, and you, but not to everybody else, you know. Or we even send the minutes from the fire department meeting, they send it out over that. That's the way we get them, you know. It works pretty good.
And this 59,000 is till 2028, so it's 4 years.
Yeah, we ended up going with that 5-year term with them. We were doing a 3-year, because how that was breaking down with the grants. We were able to negotiate with them where they're meeting our grant cycles, so ends up saving us a little bit of money versus we stuck with the traditional 3-year.
More questions on this one? I'm going to make a motion. Supervisor Becker makes a motion. Favor. Number three, professional service contract for UBME emergency medicine.
Yeah, 3 and 4 really go together, so we contract with DMD for our MS medical director. In turn, the hospital pays us a portion of that agreement, so that's what number 4 is. So you'll be receiving that from the hospital, and I believe the board meeting was the other night, and they'll come to finance meeting for you guys there.
Any questions on this one? Someone like to make a motion for this one? I need the motion for 3 and 4.
4 is an FYI.
Number 3.
I'm with yes.
Okay, Supervisor Roberts makes a motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Number 5, FYI, letter of understanding mutual aid agreement for the cloisters.
That's just all that means with the requirements of the system and transportation resources and coordination. So,
Okay. Number 6, FYI, contract with Irrigate USA LLC.
that for the things on fire training center, compressor system.
You know, we use the area gas thing, and now they've kind of monopolized the area for getting stuff, but there's a hazmat charge, and then there's a fuel charge, and all these other charges they add on top of that, you know.
Okay, number 7, operational updates. First is EMS operations, the Monroe ambulance.
So I know the chairman brought that to the committee's attention, I believe the committee as a whole, that we're seeking to go into a lease agreement with Monroe for staff and ambulances. So I spoke to Monroe earlier this week. He thought he would have something out in the next week or so for an agreement there, and then we'll do that. We'll go back and forth with them on any changes there. So this is a pretty unique thing for them. They have other operations where they lease out staff, but that's the extent of what that agreement. So under this, the employee will be the employee of Monroe Ambulance. Monroe will supply us a fully stocked ambulance ready to go. Whatever that date is, it changes over. The county then becomes responsible for the fuel, the supplies, medications, drugs, things like that, and they will oversee the entire operation. So those employees will be those of Monroe. So there'll be a number of things we have to work out there, but I think we've had a lot of conversations on that. And we know that the lease agreement when it comes should be pretty good, and we'll just see what adjustments have to be made. One with that one, that I can go into the building, if you guys have any other questions on that one.
Do we assume compatibility with that?
At the end of the day, it's going to be the county running the system, so ultimately, it's we're responsible for everything there. So it will save us on some of the liability expenses. And however, I guess my greatest concern with that is now we're dealing with a contracted individual. That can always lead to some issues from time to time. So, for instance, if they don't follow a protocol, it's really the most problem because we're the employee, but it's our name. So that's something that hopefully we don't have issues with that, but I think it's something we're going to have to address as we go along. So I did reach out to the present it to them to make sure that nothing outstanding that they would have an issue with. The last thing I want to do is finalize everything and then have them come back and say can't do something for some reason. So I'm still waiting for them to have the questions I have. That seems to be kind of the biggest concern right now going to do this. The rest of it, it is what it is. It's surprise and all that stuff. So.
Brian, on the same token of that, now with the county taking that over like that, now the building, is that going to still be up to the county going to do all the billing? Because they got the certificate of need.
So that's the next, kind of on here. So the billing piece, set down a couple weeks ago together, Mr. Robert, with we kind of to contract with to do the billing. And that's who does a lot of billing. We went from New York, we already worked with Monroe. So this morning they sent over their agreements, we get set up with them. They were very comfortable with where things are at right now and what we've done getting our NPI and some of that stuff set up. So they really felt 45 to 60 days. We'd probably be up and running the building manager back. So they're going to help go through setting up the insurance agreements and all that stuff that's needed. They did kick over a fee schedule for review. So they didn't really have any concerns there. One of the kind of outstanding things we had to follow up on is the electronic PCR platform and how that was gonna work, and if we were gonna tell Monroe we wanted them to go with the county system, or go with the Monroe system. Feel right now, we'll stay with Monroe, utilizing the street, maybe can set us up as basically viewers or something on that system, so we can hold it like that. VEB is going to cover the expense on that, so there's no additional expense loss on that. They do send out customized reports. We'll break it down between ALS, BLS, and Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance. Then really, if there's more information we need, they can customize those reports that they send to us at this meeting. So we all felt pretty comfortable after that meeting that we're going in the right direction with that. As far as the billing piece goes, that'll be a fairly smooth transition over. There'll be a lot of pieces there, so. The last piece that kind of ties back to that is, there's been a lot of discussions, the builder has been having their people hire a EMT. So they've been discussing that for a number of months. They had reached out to see if there's a way that they can contract with the county for them to, back a few months ago, I kind of told them to hold off because we didn't know the direction we were going in. Now that we kind of have the direction that we're going in, using the EMT, they are willing to essentially add one more EMT that would need to be 40 hours a week for that shift in our community for that position in our community. I know the biggest concern right now is staffing. Quite honestly, Monroe can't handle things as it is right now, especially last 2 weeks. We've had a number of times, they haven't had resources available. I was one months available for that. That was one of their concerns. We told them that we would certainly try to promote employees for them. That's what the next build our page that we could come in Tuesday night to speak to the village board about the possibility of contracting. So essentially, with that, we look at make a contract with the county for that provider, and that would just be built into our lease agreement. But that's just one decision they have. So really wasn't any concerns from outside. So I had that discussion with the builder, teach direction we want to go.
Brian, how can, Perry Ambulance help with this? Because the other day it was called Cast Dial, ALS, and they're coming from Shelton to Cast Dial. That's 20-25 minutes, and we may have EMT sitting in Perry that could help with that. How do we get together and work?
Yeah, that's something with Perry being up to an advanced unit now, that maybe that needs to be looked at as I'm starting to block a little bit more. Monroe, depending where they're sitting, is based on a number of resources available. So certain crews don't necessarily move over to Marysburg. The hospital ambulance goes out. That is one thing we're actually looking at is if we're going to continue. Right now, Monroe contracts with Sheldon, where there's additional expense there. Especially if our need goes putting an EMT on, that kind of reduce the necessity of getting the ambulance down to Arcade in that time to matter, and we're more concerned about intersections at that point. So we had GIS go through, she compiled a parcel map for us on time distances, broke down 0 to 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and so on. We're looking at where's the best locations, the best fire training center, Marysburg, Sheldon. So that is something we're considering, given fire training center right now. In fact, there's going to be renovations happening there. Probably makes sense to take that stuff. So we'll continue to look at that and figure out what the kids going to do, and then we'll be sort of the best.
Any other questions for Ryan? Okay. Number 8.
Yeah, the next kind of operational thing, office space I had on there. So as we look at this whole operation, this building, we're going to be a little bit more about pay for the building, the supply management, and the stuff. So Fortunately, through the health department, they had 3 public health college positions. One of those positions, when that person was hired, we had an agreement, and Laura and I were able to work out where that person was hired with the intent of working on EMS. So she was really the one who put a lot of information, started to compile a lot of that stuff. So we kind of finalized that for this fall. So the plan we have worked out with the health department right now is to continue with this person doing that role where she's going to be responsible for the Victoria management, some other similar office duties, but things related to this. Right now, that position is funded for sure through the end of next year, possibly beginning or half of 2024. So that plan is she'll be assigned essentially to my office and working on the falls program. So looking at where his office space right now, we've been bouncing around between conference room and library, the safety building, the conference room, home, is down in the health department just because of the lack of room. So I had conversations with Mike Adams that we have a small storage room off of our office that he goes in the room, essentially it moves the door from the hallway into our office and set that up for an office for her to work on. So pretty small project, and we'll move the door over retaining walls, do stuff like that. So she can have an office to work out. And when we put together the county proposal that we submitted to you guys, we had that assistant position. So that plan will be just operations over in the county to eventually that ramp up one way to the position, whether that be full-time or part-time. That will give us a year, possibly a year and a half to kind of evaluate is that full-time job or part-time job that's needed there. So just wanted to bring that update. For that appreciation for Laura for what us utilizing for that. She's helped out a number of projects and works on a lot of the stuff behind the scenes that helps things out and a lot of things there. The last one is storm disaster declaration. So right now we do have 12 municipalities that are having to submit. So working around the original application submitted yesterday. County application was submitted as well. So I call tomorrow, stay recovered and next steps there. We're pretty comfortable on some of the stuff in there that some of the towns will get it, the county will get it for some that are going to be questioned. So we'll make our argument there, we'll do the process there. That expense really on the county side, the bulk of the expenses with the sheriff's office with some overtime and road closures. And then on the county highway, all the other side to the search operation on the shuttle where they assist the bridge. So, and then the last thing I have, it's not on here, kind of a lot of time this morning, there's some conversation that Public Works about traffic safety. There's a meeting tonight with the Traffic Safety Board. Yesterday at the Highway Association meeting, they brought up, two of the towns brought up some concerns on the two-way closures and that on Twister and snow. Back with the tractor trailers here, but that is an issue we dealt with. One of our first incidents that day was on 28 Buffalo, jackknife tractor trailer, leaking diesel fuel, so that's when we were bigger incident on 77 falling out. Meanwhile, Genesee County was having issues, so we were calling Genesee County to try to work out how to handle that. This has been going on for a number of years, and that discussion is happening with DOT about all these two closures and these trucks out. Town roads and county roads, and especially snow events 2-3 inches an hour, the towns are able to keep up with that. So they wanted to discuss that tonight, Traffic Safety Board, and I believe the intent is that is to push something back to the board of supervisors to do a resolution. Way up is something to push up to the state. The state did ask as far as our residency here in Highland County. We push any incident involving a truck on the state road, we push that up to state DOT. Normally it's just pushed up and blocked it, but they want to get stuck in the road, stuck in the ditch, because they were trying to make that same argument back all that we got it the freeway and it's created a lot of problems. So we compiled some of that information this morning. 20 or 21 tractor trailers that went out in the course of just Friday. We'll put that on and see what that can do.
I think we skipped number 8, Intercounty Association of New York. Have you read it? I talked to you about it, but I didn't then this is this is the legislation to allow ALS intercept agencies to bill directly.
Yep, so that ties back to those Medicare patients, what we discussed before, where right now, one of those mercies, soon to be us, would have to bill the fire department for those Medicare patients, for those people doing that legislation. So there is a lot of pressure back to the state to make adjustments there. We don't see that or not. That was something that we discussed with PAD on how that would work for us. We do have a couple agencies in the county where they're not seeking the bill. So they felt that there was possibly some options out there. And in a conversation with the county attorney, and she's looking into things. PAD didn't really want to comment on China, we felt that everything was going to go. Again, their thoughts on what can happen. So I talked to the county attorney, she's going to look into some options for us. We did have a fire department reach out to see if we can go for them. So once we hear back, we'll discuss that and the options are because that if we try to alleviate that, try to.
So Intercounty Association actually felt that members of the Intercounty Association of Western New York urged Governor Kathy Hochul to amend paragraph C of section 209B, subdivision 4 of the general municipal law to allow ALS intercept agencies to bill directly. And this was just number 2, that the Secretary of the County will send the resolution out. So we thought if you guys wanted to say similar resolution, this would be.
Yeah, certainly, because we were seeing those impacts, so that's one of the biggest concerns in the building is. That was one of those things that was kind of stuck in there that wasn't really discussed. Conversations were happening over the years, we get my building. Going in there now, so it's really light out this legislation is in place. Agencies are starting to receive those bills and going to budget for that, and just going to this going to happen. Also, as a budget, like it's going back to July, so that is that's one of those unfunded mandates that the department's got to stop.
Do you want us to?
Yeah, I would support doing the resolution.
Someone would like to make a motion for this one? Supervisor Grady makes the motion for number 8. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I know Senator Galvin was, after this all took, I talked to Galvin about it, and he said he was introducing something in legislation also in the same token as this to reverse on what they.
Yeah, I know his office, he took something over on that, I haven't heard.
Thank you, Brian. Don, would you like to? Number 5. First, would you like to?
Yeah, my last agenda item,
Okay.
which is I'd like to introduce my latest fire safety inspector, Mike Cook. Who's with us today. Bring him over, he's in between stuff out on the road, so he took place at Erie Huff, being a part-time, Erie retired from us for, I think, 3rd time. Brendan Roth, Mike on board, a great asset to our department. Done a great job for us so far.
Well. Okay. Number 1, nothing for October.
Report of the tax there, highlights on the report. Our target number, the anticipated revenue, we're surpassing that now, so. Good, we're up to just see that.
Okay, number two, the munis,
Munis report is attached there, doesn't reflect us being over the government, there are page 3, we just go with that. It's also pretty expenses, for the revenues to be so far. It's still 120,234 for the double budget, so good, we should be okay.
okay, any questions on 1 or 2? Okay, what's number 3, appropriation for emergency demolition?
We're gonna ask for this withdraw that for now. That's dealing with the cast style. There's a tree laying on it. It's been on there for quite a while now. I won't get legal access to the property until next year. So late in the season here, by the time we get through our legal process to get access to the property and do anything under emergency situation, we're just gonna wait. And so in January, I'll ask for the appropriation on that. So everybody.
Did we like this on this point? No, it didn't.
There were 50,000 earmarked for numerous demolition stuff. And
So,
move it in now, move it in later, any. But that way it's 2023 into it, then, yeah.
I mean, did we budget money in 2023? I thought we did.
Yeah,
So you would just use that money.
it's still in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we put it in the item line though, right off the get go, or did we have to appropriate it into the?
I would suggest that if we did it, I'll double check. But we can just put 2023 on. Do it now, so you have the money if you need.
Because right now it's not, it's technically in the item line.
He do us after the, real property sale that we did that.
And so do we need to do, let me just come up with check.
How about? And I'll bring it to financing.
either that or we can do it in the next, say,
We can look at it together, it's still being developed under the property.
we're gonna do anything.
I mean, that could happen at any time. I mean, I could get it, entry over the next 60 days. But
Okay.
I just want to make sure everyone's coming in under $4,000 for tree removal, so I'm just trying to get these stuff in there.
Check on it, Janice, yeah, we'll bring it there. Okay, thanks.
Yes.
What do we stand on the last one? Yes, I hope. Done what? You're an ago.
I mean, as far as like us getting paid back by the municipality. I don't know, right?
We didn't get paid back from the municipality.
That's the answer, so.
I think it went in a drawer somewhere.
Something that gets emptied every Wednesday. The drawer? The drawer.
There was, the building basket, had no owner to tag it to. We had to take some emergency action on it. We went in and did it. We had like $40,000 against the property. The county was with it. I mean,
So the property that sold at the auction? You do that?
it did sell, yes. Property was sold not long after that, too.
But no one's near that kind of money.
No,
That was a vacant lot.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why it's a big deal.
but the lot did sell. There's an owner that didn't pay tax on it. If there's any loss to the story. But it still remains vacant.
And hold on from number 3 now. Number 4, professional service contract with the 131 chief state. You want to go to for the.
We got 3 estimates in for it. Everybody's just under the $4,000 mark for the tree.
Fine, let me take it. See. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Any questions for Don? Thank you, Don. I'm on, yeah. We'd like to come over here. Discuss.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have to apologize, this is the longest agenda I've had. In 32 years of doing this, I guess one that has, one that keeps on.
If you both want to sit, that's fine.
No, it's okay.
It's fine.
Standing is good for.
Okay.
There are a couple of these things that I'm going to present on because they're part of what she's done with. respect to-
Okay, so,
I'll cover some of them 1 through 5. Okay.
1 through 5.
So number one is kind of deja vu. Mike Boucher went to the Syracuse training program and apparently the paperwork didn't go in on time. So he went, he's been back. I saw him there and I verified that he was in the training program. It's an interesting program. It was the first year that I participated. In fact, Mia participated as well. I think she's been there 2 years. It's run by the state bar. And it's an intensive, I think, 4 or 5 day program where young lawyers go through a training process and go through each part of a trial in front of a group of faculty members and their team. So it's as close to the real thing as we can get. That's why I send all of our lawyers to many that type of program as we have available. So again, this is already done and paid for, I think, but really we want to clean up the paperwork and go through.
Make a motion for this. Supervisor Granger makes the motion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Number 2.
Number 2 is the annual New York State Bar meeting in New York City. This is the main meeting of the State Bar, and it includes criminal justice section, continuing legal education program. I'm presenting on one of the panels on that on jury selection. It also includes the House of Delegates meeting and the criminal law executive committee meeting that both Leah and I are on. So again, it's the primary meeting in New York. It's in our grant budgets. It's no taxpayer money from Wyoming County going into it. It's part of our grants, which include the continuing legal education aspect of what's going on. Will have no impact on the tax levy.
Supervisor Granger makes the motion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Number three is kind of getting me off the credit card business with the county. As you know, I have a procurement card. Obviously, I should not be using that in the January 1st. And I'd like that appropriate time to switch over to the public better. And
I don't remember what your limit is.
like, I have a card with it. Because I didn't know whether I was gonna have to go out for dinner or not tonight.
Look at it. And then order this. Yes, oh, here you go.
You need a number on it?
Do it 4 grand. Yep. Yeah. I don't want your card for the treasurer's office, might or Liam might look away from her. Yes, please. Leah, right, is that good? Is that good? 4,000?
Yeah.
Someone like Supervisor Becker makes the motion. Number 3. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Number 4. Acceptance of public defender Huffman's letter of resignation.
I know the nice letter you had it.
Yes, you did. I did. Very nice.
You know, this is how you debate it. I don't mind discussing. Easy, better. You know each other.
Yes, thank you for the nice letter. And thank you for everything that you've done over the years.
Let me say,
Wyoming County and the man, yeah.
well, we always have the cows and Christmas, but before we get to the next one, which of course I'm interested, I want to address, we call it the elephant in the room, and it's not you, Matt. So, as part of this process, as I'm sure all of you are aware, my executive secretary for the past, I think, 8 years has been Sue Allman. She's in the room with us today. I know there are some issues that she wants to present, but that's up to you guys to decide. We're going to handle that. But I do want to say something. When I became public, even before I was public defender, 1981, came to Wyoming County as added legal aid. My office manager, my secretary, everything as far as support staff was Cheryl Grohl. She eventually moved to the town of Sheldon, as some of you may remember. And she tragically passed away in an accident on the road. Just about 8 years ago today, maybe. Sue was our number 2 secretary at the time. And Cheryl did everything and kept everything in her own secret ways. And it was certainly no easy task dealing, number 1, with the tragedy. And number 2, we're trying to piece together the many facets of our operation that Cheryl was handling. And I have to commend Sue. Whatever has happened since, whatever happens today and tomorrow, I'll never forget the fact that she picked up where we were left in the dark. And she recreated and gave us the ability to function completely through hard work, through a lot of effort, and truly without her ability to take over the duties of Cheryl, we would have had a very difficult time completing our tasks. She's been a loyal member of my staff all from the beginning. She took some time off to have some kids. I don't blame her for that. But you know, whatever has happened, she was not only an integral part of the office, but truly has knowledge and abilities beyond almost any staff member that I've ever encountered. I depended on her for these many, many years. And again, I hope to get over this hurdle because as you all know, the position of executive secretary with department head is not only exempt civil service for very good reasons, it's exempt because of the very personal relationship and trust that has been developed between the department head and the executive secretary. And that's why traditionally, and I think with good reason, every new department head who has an executive secretary must pick and choose someone that he or she can work with. And that's something that should be done routinely, and it's being done here. So I just want to thank her for the years of loyalty. And I don't know anyone in my office who cares more for our clients than she does. So many things that she has done is simply to protect the rights of clients who are facing difficult situations. So with that, I thank her for her loyalty and her efforts on our behalf. And I'm going forward with the next item on the agenda, and that is requesting that my successor be Leah Renee Novotarski. You did her before at the last meeting when I announced my intentions at transition. She has been in our office approximately 11 years. She is very much involved in most of the state bar and vendor operations that I'm involved in. She knows the state plan, she knows the county plan. She is handled felony cases and town and village cases. And more than anything else, I watched her as a leader in state bar activities, which have indicated to me her ability to lead, organize, and to move forward in the right direction. And with that, I'm asking for her appointment as my successor as the first female public defender in Wyoming.
So I think you got a motion still on the board, your assignments. I don't think we voted.
We need a motion to accept. See that resignation first.
Harold's motion, but no.
You made a motion.
He didn't waste any time.
Okay. Supervisor Kill made a motion to accept public defender Eckman's letter of resignation. Or is someone to? Oh,
All in favor?
all in favor? We just make it formal. Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Norm. And number 5, I need a motion to appoint Leo as the public defender as of January 1st.
Sure.
Supervisor Banner makes the motion, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Carried. Madam Chair, board chair. Right, may I extend an invitation to?
yes, please do.
Leah to take her oath of office at the organizational meeting.
Please do. Thank you.
Yes. Good. Right.
And with respect to 6 through 10, I would add Ricky to present those issues.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Number 6, we're asking for a position to fill a part-time public defender. That's the position that I will be leading, assistant part-time public defender. Norman will be moving into that position. Just with switching up, I guess, responsibilities, because after his position will be taking over mine. I'll be stepping into his position. Any questions about that?
Well, yeah, as a challenge, might be better than what's indicated on this. As a general proposition, to go through these, I've reviewed it with Leah and with my office, and none of these switches and new items will result in any change in our bottom line of the budget. It'll be an opportunity for us to meet with Janice and Cheryl and kind of work out the budget so the money works right. But that's why the monies are somewhat flexible in here. But our intent is not to impact the tax levy aspect of the budget that's coming out.
Any questions? Okay.
So I knew I had that question, so I had.
Show me.
And the show.
I need a motion for number 6. Someone like to make the motion for number 6. Supervisor Roberts makes the motion, all in favor? Opposed, carried. Number 7,
Number 7, we're asking to fill the position of secretary to the public defender. Sue will be leading that position along with Mr. Evans' resignation as public defender. Stepping into that position will be Michelle Connor, who is currently, I think, a first secretary in our office. We would like to make her secretary to the public defender, and that is a part-time position for the county.
So 7 and 8 kind of go together.
well,
Sort of.
we're gonna do this now. Everyone.
Yep.
Okay. So, someone like to make a motion for number 7. Supervisor Granger makes the motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Then we move on to number 8,
So number 8 will be then
that Michelle,
filling Shelley's current position as she vacates that and moves up to secretary to public defender. Eventually, we're going to make this position full-time, but right now it is part-time. We're going to ask that Becca Dubengeiser, who is currently a secretary in our office, be filling that position. We understand that it is the civil service position. So exam. We are waiting for the civil service exam schedule to be posted to make sure that she takes that, and certainly if she doesn't qualify, we'll have to select from our qualified list, but provisionally we would like Becca Dubengeiser from our office to step into that position. Originally on a part-time basis. When we have the funds necessary for a full-time basis to do that, there will be no additional county tax levy funds. The budget says.
So, yeah, I gotta back you up though, because that's not how your agenda is set up. So if you look at number 8, it's making that position a full-time position right now. And then in number 9, you're asking to fill the position that you just amended.
And I apologize for misspeaking.
And, okay, I'm just making sure that it's exactly the way you want it, because 8 and 9, that amendment is taking place currently. So you can appoint her provisionally to a full-time position. but she's gonna still have to take the test and pass when it comes.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so that's how she's set up. 8 and 9, it's the same exact position, not two separate positions, but first we're gonna amend the position, and then we're gonna roll into asking to fill the amended position. Yeah, yeah.
So I need a motion for number 8. Supervisor Becker makes the motion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. And then I need a motion for number 9.
9 should be easier than 8.
Supervisor Hill makes the motion. All in favor? It's carried. That's number 10.
Can you make it at all times right now?
Yeah,
January?
yeah.
Number 10, we would like to create a new full-time secretary position. And that is certainly to relieve some of the responsibilities that our secretaries have right now. We will be bringing new staff to the office. We'll talk about next items coming up, but we certainly will need some additional staff to cover. Secretary, it's also is not an additional county tax levy, but that is budget covered by budget funds from state funds.
Any questions on any of this? Okay.
So, you said this will be filled by grant money then?
Yes,
Or put her on, or put the secretary on schedule S? We talked about that the other day.
So we do have positions on us that are grant funded.
Right.
Okay, we'd like to make a motion for number 10. Supervisor Hill makes the motion. All in favor? Motion carried. Number 11, I have acceptance.
I will hand this over to Mr. Ackerman. Okay, so we'll do that. Mr.
Was that? So. This was just a shot in the dark, all right? Sometime in April or May, Sue and I took a look at something that came across on the internet as to money's available in the state to enhance our ability to divert people from incarceration who don't need incarceration into programs that will help them succeed in the community. We've been doing that for a decade or two right now in treatment court, but that's a limited population that addresses people with addiction problems because they have to complete that. There are many other individuals who get involved in the cycle of crime, but are not doing that because of an addiction, whether it's anger management, whether it's mental health, whatever it is. There are contributing factors that lead people down the wrong path, and we can change that path through treatment and alternatives to incarceration. That's what this money was all about. And I looked at the figures, and there was a big chunk of money from the state budget. And I said, I give to Miami County, let's take money in here. So we put the thing together, and it was supposed to be decided in August. We didn't hear anything. I called up, this is being run by the Division of Criminal Justice Services. And I talked to some people there, and they said, we're a little behind. What a shock. And then not too long ago, I don't know, it must be a month now, we got a notification of an award of just under $200,000, $197,000 to run this program, which would include not only present staff being involved in the administration of it, but the addition of one lawyer and a part-time social worker to accomplish this. We have a part-time social worker now who has been invaluable in treatment court. Judge Moen relies on her very, very much to get people into the programs necessary to ensure their continued sobriety and their law-abiding life. And I went into law because I like the action of courtrooms, but I've become a social worker. So many of our programs are designed to address the problems that people have that lead them towards criminality, break that cycle. And that's what this grant is designed to do. And it's basically to take a look at those people who are not eligible for whatever reason treatment court and see if we can find appropriate treatment and alternatives to avoid incarceration, either at the local or state level. Don't get me wrong, I understand some people have to be incarcerated. So, for their own safety and for the safety of the community. But there are many people who we can deal with and address their issues and have them avoid a cycle of court after court after court. We found success in that in treatment court, and I want to expand that success. So with that, I'm asking the board permission to go ahead. We have the grant award, it's ours, it's 197 plus, the numbers are in here. And again, it involves the addition of 2 staff members, all paid for grant. To answer the other question that you're thinking about, it's a 1-year grant. Okay, if the grant disappears, so do the positions. On the other hand, I talked to DCJS and they say it's a 1-year renewable grant. So like everything else, who knows what the state budget is going to look like. But if it continues in the direction it's been going with respect to criminal justice, whether approve or disapprove, at the present political climate, my guess is that this type of grant will continue because there's a great emphasis on treating the problem rather than just incarceration. So, like I said, there's no matching funds. It's all grant money, and it's a 1-year deal. And if it comes through, and we're talking to people, they're going to know that their continued employment under this grant is based upon the continuation of the grant itself. I'm looking to go forward with this as kind of an unexpected addition to our ability to use state money to improve our criminal justice system.
Questions?
Look at the speech, am I?
Is this going to prevent us from having to add on to the jail?
Say again?
Is this going to prevent us from having to add on to the jail?
You know,
No, we're gonna give that one, yeah.
you know, the point, the jail is becoming a money-making process as other people have to rent our space.
I wouldn't call it money.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so we're on number,
So 12 is the staff social worker, that's a 0.5, so that's, yeah. And
the
then,
attorney's full time and the social work part-time.
if you have the 1.0, the FTEs, when you see that, it's full-time equivalent, so we're gonna be full-time, yeah. And then
What happened with the team? Is it an unlucky number?
skipped it.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
that's long.
I know, I can't count on what that, right?
Technically 13 altogether. Well, well, 0.5, they would be prorated. And it's a dollar amount thing, so.
Yeah, that's service.
So we can do 11 and we can do 12.
And these are G, so technically without. This one's a current CFDA. These are current CFDA, except, the assistant public defender actually is requesting a benefit package consistent with us on G.
Okay. So let's do 11 and 12.
All three. 11, 12, and it says 14, but technically. It's 13.
Okay.
Because that's the grant and the position that he's gonna fund as a grant.
So I need a motion for 11 and 12 and 13. Supervisor Burns, motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, number 14 would be grant acceptance. This is to replace the 30,000. for appearance, which is separate expired.
Yeah, the number explained, you may remember when Mike Griffith could no longer handle the council first appearance and gave up that position. We did away with Jerry Scott's position and kept Mike Griffith's position, so I don't remember the numbers, that's why it's set up, okay? So was I taken correctly if I'm wrong here, but this is that part-time position, correct? The full-time level. Okay, yes, this is the full-time position, I'm sorry. But again, this is totally window.
Any questions on this one? We voted on the one that he's talking about, Branson. Well, I don't know, he was back on the. Yes, how we went back on the solid Sunday, yeah, but yeah, we already voted on this one, right, the number. The numbers are sure.
Yeah, I know.
Number 15 is actually number 14. For the grant acceptance, this is for the New York State Office of Indigenous Resources.
Yeah, that's the $209,000.
Right.
Right. That's capital, that's capital.
Correct. So, any questions on this one, or someone like to?
This grant has been around probably 6 years.
Sure. Supervisor Becker makes a motion, all in favor? Opposed, carried. Right, and then we move on to number 15. It's actually 16.
What did you say?
And this is for the same office, but this is in the amount of 51,000.
Yeah, that's a distribution grant, but
Any questions on this one? I would like to make a motion for the number 15. Supervisor Granger makes the motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Okay, anything else?
instead of not.
Okay, you're in here also on January?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
you.
Yes, thank you.
Service.
Thank you. Welcome, Leo. Thank you. Okay.
Well, I thought you would have been here, but I think we could do it without him.
Okay.
You've got numbers here, you have to.
Excuse me?
You mean normally up before him, but they haven't been out.
You're right on it.
Okay, number one, transfer, and this is to cover higher than anticipated stenographer cost. Let's make the motion for this one. Supervisor Becker makes the motion. All in favor? Opposed, carried. Number two, FYI, the DA's office is spending $3,960 from the Violence Against Women Act grant as part of its mission in the form of gift cards from various vendors for gas and amenities for victims of domestic violence. Use of procurement card is required. Any questions? Hopefully not.
No, we just like to get, for us, we like to get an FYI, just so you guys know that we're buying basically cash, which I get to give out, so it's a big number. I mean, we're buying gift cards. So I always suggest that they bring it just to get that okay from you guys.
It's really not an FYI, it should be a motion. Yeah. Let's do it.
I makes me uncomfortable.
I'll make a motion that we do it.
Supervisor Granger makes the motion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Number three, overnight travel authorization for John G. to District Attorney Association of New York winter meeting on January 31st and February 3rd, 2023. Travel will be by car and airplanes in the house and county. Mr. cost will be covered by seized assets. Supervisor Roberts makes the motion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Okay, we have a request for an executive session. Sue. And the motion to go into an executive session.
So the executive session is to discuss a, employment history.
Okay, this would be an employment history. So, someone like to make the motion, Supervisor Becker makes the motion, Supervisor Brady seconds the motion.
Thank you.
Norm can stay, Leah can stay.
Is part of the room, so you have to ask them to step out.
And
Then let me shut off computer here.
just give us a moment, so if you want.